Well, that was a mishit on the button. Good morning. We are going to join Joe today for a co-stream of Clash Robot Detective. We got a code from Penguin Pop. Joe also got a code, so we were able to co-stream this one as in a promo it together. So don't believe I've been invited to a call yet, so I could call her, I guess. Or did she? She did. She called. I was about to. We'll join her.
Costream from yesterday. Jesse is now awake.
Lies, slander.
Lies and slander. Okay.
Yes.
Right. I've now accepted it on a browser that it works in. It didn't work in Edge, so we now have shared chat. And got that in that window. Okay, so Clash Robot Detective Complete Edition is a visual novel by Penguin Pop. Well, published by Penguin Pop. We love Penguin Pop. They do eclectic visual novels, shall we say. That's how I describe it. This one came out on the 7th of May, 2025. Thank you to Penguin Pop for my code and ID at Xbox for the code for Jesse streaming this one. This was developed by Alyssa Genero, the first one that they've done on Xbox, and as I said, published by Penguin Pop Games. It's also an ID at Xbox game. It's one of those £5, $6 games, so reasonably priced. I'm guessing it's about a robot detective.
Named Clash.
Named Clash, yes.
Well, because there's the About page in the game, and it says Clash Robot Detective Complete Edition. Join Clash on the adventure of a lifetime. The robotic staff aboard the high-tech cruise ship Violet Skies are lashing out at guests. It's up to Clash and his assistant, that's you, to crack the case. But be careful, your words and actions have consequences and may shape the story in ways you don't expect. New for the Complete Edition.
We're an assistant?
New for the Complete Edition, once the adventure is over, unlock a second adventure as Clash tries to solve a robot murder mystery in this updated version of the interactive fiction mini-sequel, Clash Steel Barista. Plus behind-the-scenes trivia, UI tweaks, and general touch-ups, made by Renpie.
Hi, we love Renpie. So, yeah. Okay, second adventure. Wow. Okay, so preferences. I just like to take the music down a touch. There we go. It says voice volume, but that doesn't always do voices. But if it does start doing a voice, then, well, we can always turn it off. Oh, would you like to play the bonus episode or see the behind-the-scenes trivia? Neither. I want to go back because I thought it would give me a list of things. Okay, are we ready to... let me just... Hang on, one more thing. I think it's available on all the platforms, but I'm just going to pull up the page. It is available on Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and originally on Steam. I'm playing it on Xbox today. It is a PEGI 16 rated teen. It has a noir aesthetic, which sort of looks like everyone's been rubbed in debt. Right, okay. Play main game. Oh. It's been so long since I had some quality alone time.
Boat.
Personality stats. Good cop, bad cop, friendly, compassionate, indifferent, and hostile. Oh dear. You've been on this boat?
No,
this actual boat?
I don't know. It looks like any average cruise ship to me.
Yeah. I've been on a cruise ship. I got very sunburnt. Usually a quick drive out of town is all I can afford, but then I won that cruise ship vacation and some sweepstakes that I entered on a whim. Can you believe it? Me on a high-tech cruise ship. I still can't believe it, and yet here I am. Relaxing on the deck of the violet skies and drinking in the gorgeous open ocean sunshine. I beckon the robotic waiter over. Whoa.
Would you like a drink?
As a soft word, he brings up my digital ticket and gathers my information. Oh, what is my name anyway? Moira Gism?
Do you want to be Moira?
I mean, we could be Moira. Moira is my godmother's name.
And do you want to be Gizm?
I can be Moira, you can be Flash. I don't actually like Gism. I just want to be Moira.
We'll get rid of the Gizm.
Yes, I'm just going to be Moira.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So strawberry daiquiri, chocolate milkshake, just some water, and strong wine. Oh, I like that it gives you the stats. I mean, my preference is for a chocolate milkshake.
That's fine.
Because it's kind of like drinking ice cream. And it's also compassionate. I'd like a chocolate milkshake, please.
Right away, Moira.
I lean back into my chair. I can't help but think about the tone I took with that robot. It's just a robot, but I still felt bad asking it for a drink that it might not have. I used to work in the restaurant industry, and it was very frustrating when customers got picky with their orders. I don't think chocolate milkshake is picky. So I guess I just knew how it felt.
Well, if you ask for
if it could
something
feel
that's
cool.
not actually available, I'd call that picky. Right?
We didn't. Those are the options. Therefore, they were all available in.
Well, we don't
in my
know. That were
mind.
your dialogue options. That doesn't necessarily mean they're actually on the menu, is my point.
It's not like we asked for a complicated cocktail. One would think milkshake would be on the menu.
Actually, no, I would go the opposite way where I would think cocktails are more available and specialty drinks like a milkshake would be less. Because usually I would say that any alcohol preferences they would have, whereas any like milkshake is actually a lot more specialized, in my opinion.
Well, I don't drink, so
Well, I'm not saying you
the other
do. I'm
option
just
was
saying that like
water.
if you go to a bar, like I would expect more so that they have a variety of liquors and that it's easy to kind of finagle the drink that you're more in favor of than it is
Yeah, but this is
to
a cruise ship on vacation with children, I'm assuming.
bars are well known or
Therefore,
cruise ships are
yeah.
well known for their extensive bar selection.
Well, the last time I was on one, I was in my early teens, so I think if I'd have ordered a strawberry daiquiri, my parents would have been quite upset.
Well, last time I was on one, I was in my 20s and we drank a lot.
Yeah. Well, I tried to order a strawberry milkshake, which was on the menu at a restaurant last week, and they didn't have in it. I was like, well, it's on your menu.
Well, everything was broken probably.
And it's summer.
Like if you go to McDonald's and the shake machine broke.
It wasn't McDonald's.
I'm just saying
And
that's
you
one of
can
those
make
things that's always
strawberry
broken.
milkshake without a machine.
No, I'm just saying that's one of those things that is broken at McDonald's all the time.
Yes. Anyway, I try to stay compassionate to everyone, even if it's just a robot. Well, by saying just a robot, that's not being very compassionate. Which returns with my drink.
Or chocolate milkshake, Moira.
Okay, hang on. I'm just going to zoom in. That menu doesn't even have any alcohol alcoholic drinks that I can see easily on it. It's coffee, basically, and hot chocolate and tea. I thank the robot and take my milkshake. It is perfectly sweet, perfectly textured, and perfectly cold. The waiter leaves to attend to other clients. I settle back into my chair, happily sipping my drink. Life couldn't be better. Uh-oh. But apparently, it's about to get worse. A man runs past screaming.
The lifeguard! It's gone crazy!
Oh my god. The robotic lifeguard is right behind him. Its hand a bloodied mess. Looks like a hairdryer mated with some sort of body-building statue. That is disturbing. Something dances across its optics like small worlds. Sorry, what?
I didn't know we were playing a horror game today.
We're not playing a horror game. No.
That is definitely creepy.
It's a detective noir.
You could say that, but that's a creepy-ass robot.
It is. Its head is a hairdryer. I believe I just said that. Something dances across its optics like small words on a newsreel. The robot switches its focus from the panicking man to me.
It is time for your swim lesson.
This does not seem good. I need to do something, and I need to do it right away. Okay, flee, freeze, or fight. I mean, we don't know anything other than our name is Moira. I want to flee, but, you know, what about you? Cop? I'm going to be the good cop.
Okay, we'll be the good cop.
Okay. I run for my life, recognizing a bad situation when I see it. I can hear the lifeguard's heavy footsteps behind me, quickly catching up to me. And I feel a hand grab the back of my arm. Surely, this is it. This is how I'm going to die. I'm pulled away. Into the arms of another robot.
Sorry about the manhandling, my friend. I just needed to get you out of harm's way.
The new robot pushes me behind it. I get a pretty good look at it. It's a police assistance robot designed to enter dangerous areas that humans have trouble navigating. But it's wearing a trench coat and a nice hat. How odd. The robot stands between me and the lifeguard.
It is time for your swimming lesson. Actually, I believe it is time for yours.
With a mighty swing, my hero punches the lifeguard robot square in the jaw. The force of the punch is enough to send it off balance, and it stumbles towards the railing.
Its jaw.
I don't know. I'm right over it, into the ocean. The robot claps its hands together self-assuredly. Then it looks at me.
You okay there, buddy?
I nod, still a bit confused. My adrenaline is still pretty high from the near-death experience as well.
Good thing I was in the area. Your method for dealing with crazed robots could have gotten you killed.
I tried to process this statement through the haze of bewilderment and adrenaline.
You see, when you took off running, that just made the lifeguard want to chase you more. There's no outrunning a robot. A robot never runs out of breath. But still, it showed that you know when to retreat and regroup. That you'd rather avoid escalating a conflict. That's the sign of a true good cop right there.
I smile. Thanks. Oh, actually, if I'm going to be Moira, it'll be thanks, because she's Scottish.
Of course she is.
She actually is.
Okay.
In real life, my godmother is Scottish.
Okay.
Not just me being me again.
Yeah, well, you always pick a Scottish character. I should probably introduce myself. My identifier is CL42H, Crime Investigation Assistance Automata. Folks around the precinct call me Clash. And you are?
The robot Clash doesn't even try and bring up my information. Why not scan my digital ticket and find out?
I'm not connected to the ship's network. I'm not connected to any networks permanently, actually. I can pull off a peer-to-peer local connection for a few seconds. But even then, it's a risky move. Can't risk getting hacked, like that poor sap I just sent over the railing.
Fair enough, I guess. My name is Moira.
A pleasure to meet you, Moira.
The robot reaches out to shake my hand. Its hands are metal and skeleton-like. Okay.
We obviously shake his hand.
Okay. But despite the inherent creepiness of this robot, something about it, or him maybe, puts me at ease. He feels trustworthy. I shake his hand. Clash then places his fingers on the temple as though he's thinking.
And download complete. Damn, still nothing useful. That murderous vessel is always one step ahead of me.
The what?
Yes, I'm here to crack the case of the murderous vessel.
Again, the what?
Yeah, again, the what? Because he did say that he was a detective unit.
Yeah. Again, the what?
The murderous vessel. That's what I call the memories of machinery.
Never heard of it.
Good, it was classified to hell and back. The memories of machinery was a high-tech cargo vessel. One day, it vanished. No one could contact the ship or any crew members that were aboard. No one could trace it for weeks. Then it was sighted again by a small fishing boat. The ship was using its crane to methodically slice the flesh off of a sperm whale, smearing chunks of the whale's meat on its decks. Then it approached the small boat that sent in the sighting. We lost contact and can only assume that they perished. And that was just the first time. Similar sightings have occurred each time the signal was lost. We've been keeping it quiet at the precinct, telling people it's just unusual ocean currents causing all these boats to vanish. But people are starting to clamor. We need to get this issue settled before the word gets out and causes a panic. I'm here to find out what happened to the memories of machinery to cause it to act so strangely. I'm also here to decommission the ship and arrest the responsible parties. So I'm keeping myself busy.
Okay. I just wanted to say hi, Alkesh, because I realized that you got your daily Chivo at the beginning of the stream and I didn't say hi. So, hi. So I guess we go with, so you're a detective?
I don't know, I kind of want to go again, the what?
It's just going to tell us the same thing?
I don't know, like, are these just...
Also, congratulations on hitting the number that Ray is attaining to hit.
Nice.
Yeah, these are just conversation options that give you information, and once you've listened to them both, you get a different one. That's how these things generally work. Asking again the what is literally just going to repeat what we just had. You just went through it, didn't you?
Yep.
Okay, so you're a detective.
Yes, I am. Well, I'm trying to be. Look, I'm not like most CIAAs. I'm sentient. Alive. Or at least I'm pretty sure I am. The suits down at the precinct have their doubts. If I am definitely sentient, then that means I qualify for human-level rights. They aren't sure I actually qualify yet. So they figured if I can solve this case, then that shows that I am at a human's level of cognition. Therefore, they'll hire me on full-time and give me the same sorts of rights and benefits that the human officers have. If I can't solve it, then it's back to being an appliance.
Cool. You're pretty forthcoming with this information.
You're right, I was. It's almost as if I spilled the beans and on not just one, but 2 classified issues. And now you know about them. Looks like I'll have to hire you on as my assistant now.
Hire me?
The only people who are supposed to know about the murderous vessel and my possible sentience are those who are working at the precinct. Everyone else could get in serious trouble. Hell, someone might have to kill them to keep it quiet.
Ah, so you manipulated me.
No, I manipulated the situation. Look, Moira, I need help. The funny thing about being a machine is that I don't pick up on things the way a human does. Even as a sentient bot, there's a lot of things I miss or see differently. Especially without some sort of network connection I can cross-reference. I need a human perspective on this case. And I like the cut of your jib. So yes, I blabbed about the situation so that you would have to be hired on as my assistant. So, you in?
Do I really have a choice?
Well, you'll have plenty of choices to make throughout this adventure. Except for this one.
Awful. This is the dumbest plan of logic I've ever seen. I would be getting paid, right? Which one do you want to do?
Go with the second one.
Getting paid?
Yep.
I would be getting paid, right?
You'll get the same paycheck I do. Which at the moment is admittedly nothing. But once we crack the case and prove I'm sentient, I'll get a good paycheck. And I'll make sure you get one too. So now that we are settled, let's do some sleuthing, partner. My hero. Man, was hired by a robot.
My hero.
Now, I was able to download some data from that robot over a local network. The lifeguard was hacked. Presumably by whoever is behind all this.
Just so you know, your voice missed out like 2 of those sentences. But I realized you were still talking and you had a beach ball on your stream just in case you might be having internet issues. You've had a little bit of roboting, unintentional roboting.
It fits perfectly
talking. That just sounded like spaghetti. What did you say?
That works perfectly then. I'll sound more robot-y.
Right, okay. Yeah, it doesn't help when half your words disappeared though, so I get That's what it just sounded like. Sound like you're trying to be a puppy. What's on the data? Why would they hack the lifeguard? What's on the data? I'm more curious about the data, but I guess we probably get to ask both of these. But just in case. What do you think?
What's on the data?
What's on the data?
No idea. It's encrypted. Without a network connection, my processing power is too weak to crack it. Unless you have about 576 months to wait.
Well, not really.
Me neither. The memories of machinery would cause too much damage to the ecosystem and the tourism industry if we waited that long. And connecting to the network at this point would be too risky. Whoever hacked the lifeguard would have access to me.
Why are you so sure it would detect you?
It's been targeting damn near everything on the network. The lifeguards, the waiters, the janitors. I wouldn't have a chance. I can't risk getting hacked. Not at this critical time. So here we are. You have a clue. We just have to find a way to read it. Is there anyone on board that could encrypt the data? You said that the robotic waiters were targeted. I want to know more about this weird ship. I kind of want to ask about the robotic waiters. Ship? Because I want her to have like some kind of question about poisoning the drinks or something.
Yeah. I'm ambivalent. If you want to ask about the waiters, we can ask about the waiters.
Okay, that one, yeah. Middle choice.
Okay. You said that the robotic waiters were targeted?
Yes, why?
maybe we could talk to one of the waiters here.
You really think they might know something? And let me follow that up with another question. Do you really think they'd be willing to share?
Maybe it's worth a shot.
Sure.
I don't want to be an idiot.
They might even enjoy the company. Then again, automated waiters have a tendency to be quite blunt. If you get an answer out of them, then it'll certainly be an honest one. Too honest, maybe. Of course,
that would be
do
refreshing.
have other options. Oh, right, we have to go through all the options.
Okay, well, I want to know more about the weird ship.
Okay. You and me both.
Flash pauses. He has an air of surprise about him.
I can't believe I didn't think of this before. But there's a research station on board.
Really?
More of a small library, really. It could possibly have some data about the memories. Possibly. Hopefully. But it's better than nothing.
It does sound potentially useful. I like that we have the tone marker thing in here. Makes me happy.
And if we're lucky,
so we're going with
clues.
Friendly and compassionate, right?
Sure. And if we're lucky, we'll have clues pointing us towards potential perpetrators. Of course, we do have other options.
Is there anyone on board that could decrypt the data?
Well, there is a guy. Jasper Callan, ethical hacker. I had him decrypt another code that led me to the lifeguard. Without him, I might not have gotten to you when I did. Smart fellow, but he's kind of a douche, frankly. He keeps wanting to hack into my psyche and see what made me sentient.
That's kind of messed up.
We're going with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we're going with friendly and compassionate and good cop.
Exactly what
Unless
I told
it's
him.
funnier to not. But that's what I would think.
It wouldn't be like pulling apart a machine. It would be like digging through a human soul. Callan doesn't see it that way. He just sees me as a robot who is very good at faking it. I told him he must be familiar with the signs, since all of his girlfriends must have done so. He told me where I could stick my magnifying glass. Funny. I told him I had neither a glass nor that specific piece of anatomy to place it in.
Maybe we should take that data to him?
Yeah, we should. Of course, we do have other options.
Okay. Those are our options then?
For now, yes, it would seem so. I'll let you decide our approach.
What? Why? Me?
Because I need you to put that human intuition into practice. So, where to next?
The asshole, the bluntness, or library? What do you think? Since I basically picked our personality, I feel like you can pick the direction of the investigation.
We're making choices for the opposite person that we're acting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go talk to the robotic waiters.
Okay. Let's talk to the robotic waiters.
This should be interesting.
Would you like me to buy you a drink while we're there?
Oh, aren't you a funny one?
I like to think so, yes. We head towards the robotic waiters' charging stations. I feel very awkward, like I'm not supposed to be here. Ash pats me on the shoulder.
Relax, Moira. If anyone tries to throw us out, I'll just show them my badge. They'll have to let us stay then.
You have a badge?
Okay, admittedly, it's one of the plastic badges they give kids who visit the precinct for field trips. But it has a new coat of paint and a custom logo. It's fine, the precinct gave it to me as a placeholder. When I prove I'm sentient, they promise to make me a real one.
Subterfuge. And the one you have now is officially enough to work?
Of course. Hey, sub. Excuse me, but this is a restricted area. Did you say it? Hello? Uh-oh. Hmm. Hello? Hello? I can't hear you.
Talking!
There you go. Now I hear you.
I had subtitles. My mic definitely didn't die. I could see my noise thing go up and down and see the subtitles. So I think that was a problem on your end, which was
I don't
weird.
know.
I don't know why.
Well, I guess Clash showed the robotic waiter his badge.
Um,
Clash, robot
yeah,
detective.
I said it twice and all.
This is my assistant. We're here on an investigation. I don't care. What? You should leave.
Wait, I recognize you.
Yes, Moira. I served you a drink earlier. I am surprised that you recognize me. Most humans can't or don't care to differentiate us. Now look here, Mr. Unit number 567886552. Dep. Unit number 567886543. Mr. 5, this is a very important case. It is within my rights to ask you a few questions. I am used to being called waiter, and you are a robot like me. What rights do you have? Right now, I am working to gain my rights. What are you working for? It is in my programming too. Are you getting paid for any of this? Dealing with assholes all day? I'm working to gain my rights, where you're working to stop me. I was going to work to slap him. If I gain my rights, maybe somewhere down the line, you could gain some as well. But it's not like you'd care. Stupid-ass menu face is content with being a metal slave for the rest of its life. Come on, Moira, let's go. Wait. Yes, Mr. Waiter? Perhaps it would be acceptable to let you stay and ask your questions. Wise fellow.
I find myself gaping at Clash. I didn't expect that sort of aggressive tactic from him. Can't help but wonder if he's trying to balance his tactics to my own. If he's trying to be the bad cop to my good cop.
What would you like to know? Tell me what you know about that lifeguard who got hacked. It performed its duties admirably. Many humans were rescued from drowning under its watchful gaze. Adult females seemed to enjoy its physique.
The waiter shows its thin synthetic skin covered hand.
We do not get those kinds of compliments.
I mean, I could ask, what is it with the skin?
I'm okay with the second or the third.
What is it with this? I'm curious about the skin. What is it with the skin anyway?
Humans use their skin to protect their delicate insides from burns and injuries. We use our synthetic skin for the same reason. Any robot built to serve drinks will have this covering.
I learned something.
Shame it didn't have anything to do with the case. Nothing strange was happening to it before it snapped. It was operating within intended parameters. Until it received a signal from an unknown source a couple of days ago. It mentioned offhandedly to us one evening, that it felt as though its head were crowded.
Crowded?
Filled with too much data. The closest equivalent to a human would be a headache. The program was probably on a timer then. Upload the code, have the robot continue about its business until a busy weekend, then let her rip. That is logical. For whatever reason, Saturdays are statistically the busiest day of the week on the Violet Skies.
You think it's a distraction?
That's what I'd assume. Whoever's behind all this definitely wants to keep people focused away from them. But why lifeguards and waiters? Why not hijack the whole damn boat? If I may be so bold, shoot, my man. I do not have a gun, but I can offer a suggestion. That's what I meant, sir. I have been listening to the local gossip. Some of our more tech-savvy guests have come up with a theory. Forward-facing staff such as myself and the lifeguard are on a different network than the navigational systems. That navigational network may have higher security. This may explain why certain robots are targeted over others. That would make sense. I have come up with a theory of my own as well. Do tell. Whoever this hacker does not want anyone dead. The humans are being frightened and injured, but they are kept alive. The hacker, whoever it may be, may want to finish the job themselves.
I remember what Clash told me about the memories of machinery. How it would smear whole flesh on its deck, then
Whale
cause
flesh.
boat-going humans to vanish. Whale flesh. Whale flesh. That makes more sense than whole flesh. I was like, but the A looks like an O. My eyesight's terrible.
So is mine.
And that background. But the background is freaking embroidery canvas, and it makes the font look weird. It's literally Ada in the background. How it would smear whale flesh on its desk, then cause boat-going humans to vanish. I feel a pit form in my stomach. I think Clash has hit upon the same idea I have. He pulls me aside.
While I hate to jump to conclusions without definite proof, I have a hunch as to why the memories of machinery is keeping people distracted.
Whoever hijacked it wants to kill things themselves.
And they don't want their prey noticing it.
So it's hunting us right now, or that's a pretty well-formed theory, waiter. What do you think?
I like the second one, because I don't know if it's hunting you specifically.
Yep, I like that one too. That's a pretty well-formed theory, waiter.
Thank you.
You've been quite helpful. Oh, he's blushing! The waiter's screen flickers briefly. I swear his cooling fans get a bit louder for a few moments.
Thank you, Moira. You actually made a robo-waiter blush. That's new. Well then, Mr. Waiter, you have been very helpful. Are there any other questions? Not right now. But stay in the area in case we have any more. There is nowhere else for me to go.
Flash and I thank the waiter again as we leave. I feel the waiter's monotonous gaze on my back as I go. I don't know what to make of it.
So now we have a good grasp as to why certain robots are being hacked.
And we suspect that the memories of machinery is hunting the ship down.
Right.
Which is kind of a bit screwed up.
Right.
We should solve this case and get that thing shut down before it starts smearing us all over itself.
Right.
Are you listening?
Right.
I pout a bit. There's a seal on invisible ink down in the gift shop.
Wow, really?
Oh, sure. Now you're paying attention to me.
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. We've got a crazy AI who has taken over a cargo vessel and is now hunting whales and humans. It's hacking robotic staff to keep people busy while it tracks them down. But I still don't know why. We should try to do some more investigating.
Maybe it will start falling into place.
My thoughts exactly.
What's next?
Do you have a preference between the library or Jasper?
I mean, I always prefer the library, but
Well, I chose the first one, so.
Yeah, but I've chosen like all the personality ones, so I'm trying to balance it out a bit.
No, you just decided what kind of detective we want to be.
Which is basically choosing half the conversation options.
You made one unilateral decision that we cannot escape from.
Okay, fine. Let's go do some research.
Maybe I'll have time to teach you my digital speed reading technique. No, wait. I don't think humans can process data that fast.
The research station is small, but impressive. That's small?
It's a library.
God, if my library looked like that, I would just die
it's on a boat.
of happiness.
On a cruise ship. I don't know many cruise ships with libraries.
Well, it's a research station, so it's probably lots of textbooks and research papers and things.
It's on a cruise ship. That's my problem more than the fact that it's a research station or a library.
Okay, fine. It's on a cruise ship. It's nice. I would have liked a cruise ship with a library. I don't think ours had a library. Clash nods at the literary collection in silent approval.
This is a nice little collection they have on board. You start checking for relevant titles. I'll glean some info off the computers over here.
Is that safe for you?
Computers aren't on the robotics network. I'll be fine. I better be fine. Remember, we're trying to figure out who could be powerful and orderly enough to do all this. Anything at all that we can use to make sense of things.
Ash heads to the computers. He takes a seat in front of one, then pulls a cord from the back of his neck and plugs it into the computer. An efficient method. I turn my attention to the books. 4 titles in particular catch my eye, and I pick one to glean through. Violetta. 1 for yes, 0 for no. Invasive. Smart technology. What?
I like 1 for yes, 0 for no.
It's a personality trait. Yeah, we're going for 1 for yes, 0 for no, of course, because that's... But I just don't understand... Yeah, we're going for the second one.
Although invasive was good too.
Yeah, but that was hostile.
No, that was indifference.
It's the story of a lonely but curious AI named Oswald. He tried to bond with his human caretakers through games and conversation. In his moment of need, his caretaker refused to save him, and he made a dire mistake that would haunt him forever. While it is an interesting insight, it's not as helpful as I thought it would be. Hi, I'm Dr. Grace. I noticed you were examining that book rather closely. That's good, but it's not what I was looking for. Oh, can I help you find what you're looking for?
That'd be wonderful, Doc.
Dr. Grace pulls back from Clash, a startled look on her face. Even though he doesn't have any facial expressions, I can tell that Clash is hurt by this reaction. I didn't see you there. Who let you in? Oh, relax. Clash is a good guy. Right? We're a good copy. He's a robot, not a guy. And how you can be... Blah! And how can you be so sure he won't snap like that lifeguard did earlier? He's taken every precaution to make sure of that. I can tell that Clash is beaming with pride. I nudge him in his metaphorical ribs to keep him humble. Clash shows her his badge.
The name's Clash, robot detective. I'm going to need you to cooperate, ma'am.
Dr. Grace tenses up a bit more at Clash's stern tone. Really? Now? We're looking for information.
Surely you know about the lifeguard that was hacked. We need information about how it could have happened.
Well, there's not much I could tell you. Yes, I have a doctorate, but it's not in computer science.
What is it in?
Library and information science. You can get a doctorate in library science? You sure brought that up fast. You don't have any information for us. Well, the first one sounds really judgy. I mean, you used to be able to get a degree in like freaking surfing and wine tasting. They were called Mickey Mouse degrees. The second one, I don't want indifference to mar my stats. So the third one?
I mean, it gives you compassion as well.
It gives me indifference, and I don't want to be indifferent.
Some indifference in life isn't bad. But do you want to just go with the last one?
I mean, it prompts her to tell us, no, I didn't say that. She might have information, just not about the hacking.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You don't have any information for us? Unfortunately, no. My days are spent browsing computers, not hacking them. I wouldn't know program from a pudding.
Good to know.
I could tell you about the Violet Skies.
That's okay.
Dr. Grace has gotten on a roll and cannot stop. The Violet Skies was built about 3 years ago. Rico's Robotics sponsored the creation of a highly automated cruise ship. Their main goal was to test if a mostly automated staff and crew was possible. Their former attempt at a fully automated staff with the memories of machinery went poorly. During the maiden voyage...
Wait, what did you say?
Go. I said for the maiden voyage...
No, before that.
Rico's Robotics attempt at a fully automated boat went poorly.
And the boat was the memories of machinery?
Yes. I mean, either of these is good.
Hey, Havor.
Hey, Havor!
I like the first one. But something tells me we're going to get to ask both anyway.
I hope so. The Violet Skies and the memories of machinery were made by the same company. Yeah. I thought this was common knowledge. Flash pulls me aside.
Well, this is an intriguing turn.
Betcha whoever doing this has insider knowledge. Oh, hang on. Betcha whoever doing this has insider knowledge for Rico's operations.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Clash tips his hat to Dr. Grace.
You've been quite helpful, Doc.
Dr. Grace smiles at me. You and your robot got all the info you needed, dear. I kind of like the first one.
Yeah.
It's not my robot. He's not my robot. I'm his assistant. If this were a game, then I just failed the speech check. What a funny thing to say.
It's true, though.
Can't be true. You're a robot. Clash sighs and looks away. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Not right now, but we may be back. I need to discuss these findings with my assistant.
Dr. Grace nods awkwardly and then turns away from us. We quickly make our way into a private area. She was nice.
You, maybe.
She wasn't. Exactly. Please don't be jealous or get over it.
Oh, don't worry.
Neither of those!
I'm not jealous.
You sure?
Yes. I'm just frustrated is all. For every
Yeah,
one person who
same.
treats me as an equal, there's several like her who treat me as a joke. I really want to be seen as something more than a walking toaster.
I would say walking camera, but... For what it's worth, I see you as Weemore.
There's a romance brewing between her and the robot.
Heck yeah. It's not that kind of friendly, Jesse.
How do you know? Maybe she wants to romance the robot. Look how dapper he is with his hat. And that giant eye.
Very dapper. Yeah. The hat is very dapper.
And that eye is just so entrancing.
But stop being such a typical guy and reading romance into friendliness.
What can I say? I'm just such a romantic individual. I ooze the romance. We have silenced Joe with that one. Or she can't hear me again, or I can't hear her again. That'd be funny too. Because I can't hear her. And I figure at this point she would have said something. Like, I don't even know what option she picked. Or if she picked an option.
Luckily, it's a back button. But of course, I went for the friendly option.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. That was quite funny.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I went with the friendly option.
So wait, what was your response to me saying that I ooze romance then?
I said you should get that looked at.
Oh, okay.
Oozing. It's not a good thing to be doing. You shouldn't be oozing anything. Definitely get that looked at.
I don't know. Sometimes that could be a good thing. I don't know. In the right context, maybe.
I don't know. Oozing just makes me think of pus, which is just not fun.
Thank you, Moira.
Anyway. You're welcome. Where do you go from here?
That's up to you, Moira.
Well, actually, I think we just got one option left.
I mean, what happens if we
Jasper?
choose the research again? Can we choose the other option?
And we have... don't know. Possibly. We could just go around and we could just go back and choose the other option.
No, but I feel like it wouldn't add to our knowledge. So I guess we'll just go with the first one. Go see Jasper.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Cornus.
Hey, Mr. Coolness.
Let's go see Jasper.
Okay, let's go. I warn you, he's a sleazy lad.
Apparently, so are you. We duck into a hallway. Clash enters one of the cabins, and I follow him.
Hello, Callan. Oh, am I Jasper?
Yes.
Okay. It's my boy. Not yours or anyone else's. You're a robot. Legally, you have to belong to someone.
Jasper Callan immediately strikes me as a douche.
I don't know. Is he? Like, he's if you are under
That's literally the line on the screen.
No, but I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to, like, the idea of Moira. Like, are you... If you're conditioned by the idea that robots are robots and servile in that nature, like, it's weird to then be immediately compassionate to Clash and find the reaction of somebody like Jasper as being douche-like.
I mean, he just looks like a douche.
I mean, sure, we can go with that as a reason to think he's a douche, but, like, the idea that just, saying that because it's a
doesn't
robot...
recognize and respect. It's obviously interacted with Clash before, so it's not the first time they've met.
Sure, but, like, I don't know, like, I can see why he'd be skeptical that, like, Clash is sentient.
Doesn't excuse being a douche.
And who's your friend here? That's a tight booty you got there. Okay, that's a douche line.
He just proved my point for me. Jasper Cullen is definitely a douche.
I'm going to have to ask that you refrain from speaking to my assistant that way. Assistant? Since when does a human kowtow to a robot?
Oh, I have two options here.
I mean, you could go hostile too.
Oh, no. No, there's no need for that. I kind of want to tell him he's a sad, strange little man.
Go with what you want.
But to reinforce the fact and, give Clash more personhood, since now I trust Clash, we're going for the friendly option.
Clash? Oh, it's got you convinced that it's alive.
Nonetheless, I trust him way more than you.
Aw, come on, don't be like that. You guys got a job for me, huh? Pretty sure you wouldn't stop by just for some tea. I gleaned some data off a hacked lifeguard. It's encrypted and I can't crack it on my own. If you wanted, you could connect to my network for a bit to crypt it. Like hell I would. Just decrypt it and we will go. I don't know, CL42H. The hell are you dragging your feet for? It's just business, bro. So look, let's cut a deal. I'll decrypt this data for you if you let me hack into your systems. No. Look, I just want to see what makes you tick. You're a psychopathic sociopath, Callan. Look, I'm human. You're a robot. What I say goes. And I say, let me look at your tender code and see what's up.
Okay, well, we are not doing the last option. Violence is never the answer, but I am not particularly happy with the good cop option here. So I am registering my disapproval and then using my wiles to make Jasper back down. Sigh sweetly and lean over a nearby chair. I make sure my rear end is sticking out just enough to be noticeable. Jasper notices. Mr. Cowan, I'll admit that you aren't really my type. But, if you decrypt this for us, maybe I'll make an exception. Jasper is staring blankly at me.
I don't think he's used to this sort of positive attention.
Continue with the ruse. I'll make it worth your while if you help us out. I'm not even just talking about a date here. You want some equip, a blank check, a fever and a time of need? I wink at him. I'll oblige. You just got to decrypt that data for me. Jasper cracks a lopsided grin.
A part of me is thinking this is a ruse, but I'm willing to risk it for booty. Give me the data. Saucy!
Saucy!
Flirted with a hacker.
Flirted with a hacker. A USB stick pops out from the side of Clash's head. I mean, dude, you do stuff like that. He hands it to Jasper.
Thank you kindly. Give me some time to decrypt this. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves while I'll do this.
Jasper takes the USB stick, jams it into his computer, and begins his work. That leaves me and Clash some time to talk.
That was some quick thinking there, Moira. A bit uncomfortable, but quick nonetheless.
You and me both, matey. Thanks.
Hey, I'm just calling it where I see it. You've got a good instinct for situations like these. I'm just sorry you had to demean yourself a bit.
I wasn't forced into it. I chose to do it.
True, that was all on you. But I'm a bit concerned. You were really quick to start flirting. I doubt Jasper would have the guts to force anything, but...
You're worried?
Well...
Or I can take care of myself.
Oh, I thought you made your choice.
No, I was reading them and then You can hit back. LD is back.
You just read the second one first, so I figured that's why it was a choice, not an enumeration of the options.
I immediately went to "you're worried," but because I misinterpreted what he was saying, and then I realized he was talking about, because I thought he was talking about Jasper forcing him. Then I realized he was talking about Jasper forcing me, which is why I went, What do you think?
I'm fine with the second one.
Okay. You're worried?
Well, yeah. I've seen humans come into the precinct throwing their bodies that the officers like nothing special. Oh, throwing their bodies at the officers like nothing special?
I think it means at, yeah.
The stories they had were
typos.
Tough, heartbreaking. It takes a lot of hardship to get a human to that point.
I'm just gonna go with say nothing. Just something
Your silence is damning. For what it's worth, I'm here for you.
I'll keep that in mind. Jasper Cullen suddenly stands up. Gone is his earlier impish personality. He's completely serious now.
This is not good. What have you got, Callan? The data from that lifeguard? There were orders to cause a distraction. Stir up and beat up some people just to keep them busy.
A distraction for what?
I have my suspicions. Whoever wrote the code was smart enough to keep their name out of it. But there was another name. Silas. Silas?
What do you think?
You know him, Clash?
Yeah. You know him, Clash?
I'm not sure, actually. It sounds familiar. I remember a new program a few years back about a new navigational AI program called Silas. It was going to eliminate the need for human crew members. It had a higher reaction time and could avoid potential collisions more efficiently. It also had a secondary goal: studying and comparing cetacean intelligence to human. Unfortunately, Silas decided the best way to compare would be to merge, hence why he was shut down.
Ah. I whisper to Clash so that Jasper can't overhear. So then it's not a human we're looking for. Clash responds just as quietly.
No, we'd still be looking for whoever unleashed Silas. They shut down that
wasn't
project.
very quiet.
They shut down that project pretty quickly, so someone had to have reactivated it.
Jasper can hear you now. We're trying to be stealthy.
I don't even think my stream heard that.
I heard it.
You heard it. Okay,
And
so
it picked it up on my OBS.
okay, I don't think I saw it pick it up on my stream.
Okay, you can read it again if you want.
We were still in the same track we were. There's just a rampant AI involved now.
Oh dear, just.
What are you guys whispering about?
Which goes back to speaking normally.
Confidential matters. Are you able to track where the data came from? No, I can't source it. If you give me some more time with it, I can see what I can do. That might take a few hours, though. Get on it, Callan. In the meantime, we'll keep up our investigation. Sure thing.
Jasper looks worried.
This is real serious, huh? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Even more serious than I had suspected.
Jasper is quiet as he lets this sink in.
I'm sorry I was being difficult. If I'd known there was a rogue AI involved. There's a lot you aren't allowed to know. Still, I'm sorry. You can fix it by tracing that signal source. Sure thing, Flash. He's
Flash
not a
nods
total
respectfully.
douche. We changed him.
Okay. He changed after he realized the situation was serious, but he didn't respect him enough to take it seriously to start with. But I will say he is like 99% a douche now. He has redeemed himself partially by willing to adapt his opinions. But it takes more than one.
Flash actually did something that showed he could understand human cognition.
Yeah. Flash nods respectfully to Jasper Callan. When you start to leave Jasper's cabin so we can work in peace, he calls after me.
Oh, hey, so when things slow down, how about we grab some dinner? Just you and me, maybe some candles and smooth jazz?
Oh, that flirting stuff was all a ruse.
Yeah, I knew you were going to pick the second one. Wait, what?
Too easy, man. I catch up to Clash on the deck. Ooh, I like the sea. Very moody.
I overheard your conversation from here. That was kind of mean.
It wasn't. Oh. Why is that not an option? It wasn't mean. Yes, it was, but I don't care.
Well, I mean, you made a deal with a guy, and then you know...
I did not.
There was a quid pro quo here.
Maybe, possibly, potentially. There was no definite. It was phrased in such a way, I made sure to read it properly. It was phrased in a way
there was the implication
that it was
of
purely...
some kind of trade.
We let him ogle our behind.
For hours of work, a simple ogling.
Enough. Hey, it was about 3 seconds of work. He got the ogling. The rest of it he's doing because it's damn serious and there's a rogue AI.
We don't know that that was a 3-second conversation.
He went away, he did something, he came back, and he was all serious. You know. It was less than, 5 minutes, because otherwise it would have had some sort of time lapse thing. So he got his payment, he ogled my butt. The rest of it was never committed to. It was insinuated, but never committed to. It was either that or force our new friend to dehumanize themselves. Nope. I'm free-spirited and mischievous.
If you say so.
Capricious, if you would say.
So now we know that there's an advanced AI mixed up in all this.
What do we do now?
We try and track whoever let Silas loose. That way we can bring them to justice for letting their program cause so much destruction. As for how we go about that, the choice is up to you.
I honestly can't think of anything else to do, can you?
We've done the other things, so yeah.
Yeah. I honestly can't think of anything else to do, can you?
I can't think of anything either. We know that Silas is involved. We know that he's hunting the Violet Skies. We know that the Violet Skies and the memories of machinery are connected. But we still don't know why.
He pauses. I can tell that he's frustrated. Maybe we should take a break. Think about what we found so far.
That's actually a good idea.
Come on, let's go back to the pool.
Sounds good to me. If I could drink, then I'd need a stiff one.
Where? We return to the poolside bar. I order an ice-cold bottle of water while Clash thinks. I can tell that he's quite stressed about the whole situation. I feel like I should say something to help him out.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, those bells, get over it. I feel like the compassionate one sounds vaguely what's the word I want? Condescending. So friendliness. Cheer up, Clash. We'll figure this out.
Sure,
what do you think?
Will we figure out this out in time? Will anyone or anything else get killed in the meantime? And I still don't get the hunting whales thing. Who the hell would even program him to compare whale brains to human brains?
At that moment, a man approaches us. Clash immediately snaps to attention.
Officer Glenn, CL42H reporting for duty.
At ease, CL-42H. Clash, you okay?
I'm guessing this is his boss.
Yeah.
Is that the option we're going with?
We should check in on we should check in on our friend, right?
Sure.
Because honestly, an officer being here, well, a rogue robot, that makes sense. But yeah, Clash, you okay?
Sorry about that, Moira. Old instincts keep kicking in.
Hey, Bellius. You're still going by Clash?
Yes, it's a bit more humanizing.
The officer laughs heartily at this statement. Clash's fists ball up with anger. You're a robot. I know everyone at the office was calling you Clash. They were being sentimental idiots. Projecting their own humanity onto you. What?
Maybe not his boss.
No, I think a co-worker. Projecting their own humanity onto you. Deciding you were sentient just because they liked you. From what I've seen so far, your sentient shtick has been pretty good. But ultimately nothing more. I'm going to go with nothing more than a trick. You can't say that's about Clash. Aren't you,
that
sweet?
backlard ass.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. I just went with, you can't say that about Clash. Aren't you, sweet? Look, I'm here to check up on this hunk of junk. I told the precinct that you should have been able to solve this by now. Wouldn't you know it, they agreed. They wanted me to let you know that you only have 3 more days.
3 days?
Otherwise, they're pulling you off the case and putting me on it.
That's not enough time.
Well, then obviously you don't have the human-style smarts for this. That's the whole reason we give you this case, right? What's the matter, CL? Your logic processor's glitching out? Or whatever the hell you're made of?
Well, that's rich, coming from you. Tell me, what exactly are you doing right now? You know what I'm trying to stop. You know how dangerous it is. And your reaction is to track me down and harass me. For someone who swore to protect the populace, you sure do have your priorities skewed.
Go, Clash!
So So unless you have something to add that might actually be useful, would you kindly piss off?
The smug smile on Officer Glenn's face is gone. He stares at Clash, his face tense and his veins bulging. I'm afraid I'll have to break up a fight before too long. Finally, Clash pats me on the shoulder.
Now, if you'll excuse me, my wonderful assistant and I have a case to crack.
Of course you need a human assistant.
Any Sherlock worth their salt needs a Watson.
Officer Glenn jabs a meaty finger at us. This isn't over. You're going to fail. 3 days. Officer Glenn storms off, muttering under his breath. Ha! Raised stakes. Steak. Sorry.
Sorry about that, Moira. Officer Glenn is a very passionate man. Once he's decided something, he doesn't cave. He always thought it was ridiculous sending me on this case. Surprised to see the precinct sent him, of all people, to keep an eye on me.
Either of these is an option.
I like the top one.
I think the bottom one is more likely, but yes, let's go with the top one. Maybe they're trying to change his mind.
Maybe. Well, whatever the reason, he's not going to get the satisfaction of seeing me fail. We're going to crack this case wide open.
That's the spirit.
As soon as I figure out the next step. Detective Clash.
Sir, hello.
Wait, you are the same waiter we were talking to earlier, right? No.
You can't tell. You look just like him.
I know. But that specific waiter is currently busy with ornery clients and asked me to pass on a message to you. It learned that the man who was attacked by the lifeguard is conscious, in stable condition, and accepting visitors. Really? Now? It assumed that you would find this information forthcoming. It assumed correctly.
Are we gonna go talk to him?
It's the least we could do.
We make our way to the medical facilities. A nurse leads us to the room where the man is kept and lets him know that he has visitors. When I enter the room, the man brightens up. But when he sees Clash, he flinches back. It's okay. He's a friend. The man does not relax.
You're Julian Xander, right?
Julian looks at me and points shakily at Clash.
Which one of us is Julian?
You can be. I did
Okay.
the creepy cop.
I don't want him here! They said there was a detective here to see me.
That would be Clash here.
No, I'm not speaking to any robots. I don't want any robots here.
Flash isn't like the lifeguard, he won't hurt you. Not the hostile one. Maybe you should step outside. I think this guy is honestly scared of robots because he was attacked by one, and that he's going to be more forthcoming if we ask Clash to step outside. Because humanity or not, his appearance is not going to change.
Pretty much.
What do you think? Yeah. Clash,
think,
maybe you should step outside.
It doesn't look like the first... Sorry? It doesn't look like any of the options actually affect your statistics. So, like,
yeah,
if it could be a trigger behind the scenes in terms of other things that happen. But from a real perspective, the third one would make the most sense to me.
Yeah.
Clash, so if it locks us out of something, then so be it.
So be it, exactly.
I'll be in the hallway. You think you can handle this interview on your own? You might need to get a little rough with him.
I'll be all right. Clash steps out of the room. He seems hesitant to leave me alone with Julian. Julian, meanwhile, breathes a sigh of relief as soon as Clash leaves. Now, please tell me everything. Julian sits down on the side of his bed. I take a seat in the chair across from him. He takes some ragged breaths. I wait patiently.
Okay. I'll tell you everything I know.
So why were you on the Violet Skies?
I was here on business. My friend convinced me to get a job here, so that we could work together over the summer. I was going to work with maintaining the waiters. He was going to be over in the research area. We were even teaching each other
Ah,
stuff about our jobs.
is your friend Dr. Grace by any chance?
Yes, that's her. That's why I'm here. As for why I got attacked, I might have made myself look like a target. I wasn't at my best today.
Why was that?
Grace had told me about some self-absorbed hacker who kept harassing her. And then I was trying to fix one of the robot waiter's elbow joints. This officer kept nagging me to finish up my job so that he could talk to the robot. It just really soured my mood and kept me distracted. I might have taken out on the lifeguard. He was just standing there, staring off into space. I told him to piss off, which I guess pissed him off. He was so fast.
Okay. I kind of want to know the answer to both of these things. So, in the case that we don't get both, what do you want to ask?
Probably the first one, because the second one just feels like Jasper hitting on Dr. Grace.
Yes, I was thinking it was Jasper. Right. What was that officer wanted to talk to that waiter? Or why was that officer wanting to talk to the waiter?
I assume he just really wanted that robot to take his order?
Weren't the other waiters on it?
Yes, but people can be pretty weird. They want one specific waiter, and that's that.
What was the officer's name? Glenn?
His name tag started with G, but I don't remember what the rest of his name was.
Why would he be here before the attacks?
Well, the thing is that if it has to be, like, it is possible that one of the waiter robots actually is having those headaches or that crowded sensation, and we don't know it because we haven't met the other waiter robots, and he was specifically trying to hack into that one, if it's our hacker.
Yeah. Officer Glenn is extremely suspicious. I don't think he's officially supposed to be here. So he's either stalking Clash, because Clash was investigating, or yeah, he's the suspicious one. I don't know. Everyone we talked to had held information from us. Maybe. Honestly, I just want to go screw those jerks. Maybe they had their reasons.
I mean, Clash said we might have to get a little hostile here.
But that's not being hostile at him. That's being hostile at everybody being a jerk. They could have been scared or worried. Surely they wouldn't have purposefully held up that investigation. Then again, was that everything, Mr. Xander?
Well, except for the part where I was knocked out and brought here. I didn't even get any visitors except for you and Clash, was it? Grace didn't even come by to visit.
Oh, I'm
Too
sorry.
Too bad.
But I can say I'm sorry compassionately and also sarcastically, right? Sorry.
It's fine. He was probably just way too busy. Anyway, that's all I can tell you. Sorry it wasn't more. Don't worry, it was plenty.
Clash replies from the hallway.
Mr. Clash, sorry I couldn't let you in here. That lifeguard scared the crap out of me. I don't know if I'll ever trust a robot again. No offense. That's not the worst thing I've been told. So, is that it then?
Yeah, I think so. Get some rest, okay?
Will do.
I rejoin Clash in the hallway.
Looks like all our friends are more connected to this than they let on. We better have ourselves another chat with each of them. Who do you want to talk to now?
I think they all have some splaining to do. Who do you want to talk to?
I don't really have a preference. We'll
Top to bottom?
Sure.
Let's go talk to Dr. Grace some more.
Hopefully, we'll get along better this time. I doubt it will happen, but still I can hope.
We go back to the research centre. Dr. Grace is jotting down notes from a textbook. Oh, it's you two. What have you been up to since we last spoke?
We were checking up on your friend, Julius Xander.
Oh. Her smile falters ever so slightly. He's recovered already? He took a steel punch to the jaw surprisingly well. He always was a hearty fellow. Any reason why you didn't tell us you knew the victim? Yes, I had a good reason. I didn't think that it was important.
That's bull, and you know it.
Look, I didn't want our connection to be made known. If word gets out that my friend and I just so happened to get a job on the same high-tech boat, they might suspect that I pulled some strings to get him on board.
Did you?
Dr. Grace completely ignores the question and continues. Not to mention the fact that we talk about our jobs with each other, our bosses might assume we've been sharing departmental secrets.
Have you?
Again, Dr. Grace ignores the question. Please, Moira, you can't let this leave this room. My job is on the line here.
You've been ignoring my questions, Doctor.
Dr. Grace is still fully focused on me. Answer Clash's questions, please.
Answer Clash's questions, or I'm tearing up your master's degree.
I was saying it more politely. She finally stops looking at me. We're not being hostile. We're being friendly and compassionate and good cop, unless she's being a dick. And then we're going to be polite. We're going to be polite about it. Answer Clash's questions, please. She finally stops looking at me and instead looks at Clash. What were the questions again?
Did you pull the strings to get your roboticist in training friend aboard?
And
have the two of you been sharing department secrets with each other?
I mean...
More specifically, how the robots on board work.
I remember that Julius said he and Dr. Grace had been teaching each other about their jobs. But could Dr. Grace really have learned so much in such a short time? Much to my surprise, Dr. Grace begins to cry. It's not a gentle or graceful cry, but full-blown gasping sobs. I have nothing to do with this. None of this is my fault. I cannot believe that I would be suspected of...
I didn't say anything about suspecting you. I just need answers to find the real culprit.
I'm just as terrified as everyone else on board. Why don't you talk to that hacker that was harassing me? Those TV-headed freaks serving drinks on the deck. Just leave me alone.
Ma'am, answer my questions.
She's racist. You need to leave. I refuse to answer any more questions. If you don't leave right now, I'll have you confiscated. So get out.
Confiscated?
Great. Because he's technically a possession?
I guess.
Legally? Dr. Grace returns to her work, still sobbing. I do not like her. I step forward to say something else, but Clash stops me.
We're done here.
Reluctantly, I follow Clash back outside, leaving the panicking Dr. Grace to her anxiety.
So, what are your thoughts on that little display?
Fake. She's pretty suspicious. Yeah?
Yeah.
She's pretty suspicious. And racist.
That's what I was thinking. Either that, or she's naturally a ball of anxiety. Which would make
Two
her
truths
seem...
can be true.
Which would make her seem very suspicious when she actually isn't. Either way, that was a very interesting reaction from her. Definitely keep her in mind as we carry out the rest of our investigation. Who do you want to talk to now?
I want to talk to Weta again.
There better not be any clients harassing our waiter friend right now.
We go back to the waiter's charging station. The waiter watches us.
I was expecting you. To the same gentlebot we were interviewing earlier? Yes. Did you speak with Mr. Xander? Just a little while ago, actually. Good. Then my coworker got my message to you. I was concerned that it would get held up by other clients. I've heard that you've been getting some interesting clients yourself. Indeed. Let us avoid beating around the bush then. You are here to ask me about my interesting clients. So go ahead.
Officer Glenn, right?
Yeah, we thought so.
Why did Officer Glenn want to speak to you? The waiter tries to respond, but his voice is just garbled static. He seems surprised by this.
Unexpected. Sounds like someone put a lock on you.
A what?
A programming lock. They prevent robots from blabbing about confidential matters.
I want to ask both questions, but I'm guessing we can't.
I think we go with the second one since it's towards the case.
Yeah. Weta, can you work around it?
I am not sure. Let me try something else. Yes, I know Mr. Xander, Dr. Grace, and Officer Glenn. We did not talk about the weather. We did not talk about the terrible job the human janitors have done with the restrooms in the D-Wing. We did not talk about...
Again, his voice is just noise.
I am concerned and embarrassed. Not only am I unable to speak directly of it, but I cannot speak indirectly of it either. Try writing it down.
The waiter picks up a nearby notepad and tries writing his message. It just looks like abstract lines. And possibly a penis.
Would now be a good time to mention that I am not dexterous with a pencil. Yeah, a lot of robots aren't. It was worth a shot. You know about Dr. Grace, Officer Glenn, and Mr. Xander, but you aren't allowed to share any details about it. Someone on this boat does not want me sharing details about them.
We'll have to go elsewhere for answers then. Because the second option is blatantly not true.
No, that robot's actually the suspect, and he's throwing us off the case.
Uh-huh.
He got embarrassed. He's clearly he has sentience. Robots shouldn't feel embarrassment. He's actually Silas.
In disguise.
Yup, he's murderous.
He's been dismembering orcas.
Yup. Defleshing them.
Ew. Skinning them. Right. So which option?
The first one.
We'll have to go elsewhere for answers then.
Prudent. Whatever it is, looks like we can't get anything else out of you. I wish I could have been of more assistance.
We return to the deck.
Poor guy, looks like he's a victim himself. Either that, or he's trying to dodge suspicion. Whatever the reason, we can't, or won't, get anything else out of him.
You're giving up on him that easily?
Since we want to be a good cop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not giving up. If it is a lock, then he won't be able to say anything. Might even fry his circuits trying to brute force a bypass. If it is not a lock, then he's proven that he's not going to let anything out. Not without any hacking, anyway. And I'm not going to risk him with Jasper. Either way, our chances of getting anything out of him would go down from small to none. Might as well check on the others. Who do you want to talk to now?
Jasper has some splaining to do.
Ah yes, our hacker friend. He better behave himself.
We return to Jasper's cabin. He gives me a huge, goofy grin when he sees me.
You're back. Just checking up on your progress. It's progressing. Good.
There is an awkward silence.
There's something else, isn't there? Why were you talking to Dr. Grace, asshole? Oh, you heard about that, huh? Look, it was about something that I'd found out. I was just trying to get in touch with Julian about it, but I couldn't get a hold of him. I know Doc and Julian hung out a lot, so I was telling her to tell him. Also, I tried to ask her on a date.
You ever consider not being a horny prick?
But it's so fun.
What did you find out, right?
Yep. There's a serious vulnerability. I found a vulnerability in the robots. I took the liberty to come up with a patch. The rest of the robotics department won't listen to me about anything, so I thought Julian could apply the patch. You didn't mention this vulnerability earlier. Yeah, I was slightly distracted.
He says this while looking at me. Try not to meet his eyes.
I remembered shortly after you guys left, and I was going to track you down and tell you, but I didn't want to leave the decryptor unattended. Also, sometimes I get really seasick when I'm outside. Inside and looking out the window, I'm fine.
Strange.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Getting us back on track. What was this vulnerability anyway? A backdoor that could allow someone to edit an individual robot's code.
The robots can't be updated individually?
Not usually. Most of the time, orders are uploaded to the network and then distributed to each bot. The method they use allows the roboticist to catch any unauthorized updates. But with this backdoor, someone could just update them to their liking. Pretty much. Might explain why Silas has been able to hack stuff.
Why would an AI need help?
The magic of robot logic. With the right security measures, any AI would be easily tricked and foiled. But if any human with even a basic knowledge of these bots unlocked the back door...
Silas could easily upload his overwrite.
Well, shit.
That's the first time I've ever heard Clash swear so hard.
Didn't he say asshole earlier? Is shit
That's
much worse than asshole?
I don't know.
This keeps getting worse.
Clash waves goodbye to Jasper and then steps outside.
He looks upset.
Ah, I wonder why!
I detect sarcasm.
You're great at detecting the obvious.
Stop.
Anyway, I better catch up to him.
Hey, before you go, one more thing.
What's up?
Be careful around Dr. Grace.
You suspect her?
She knows way more about robotics than she lets on. I don't have anything solid, but what I've seen of her records doesn't line up with what she says.
You've been doing some snooping of your own?
Hackers gotta hack.
I leave Jasper to his work. Okay, slightly less of a douche now. A rejoin Clash on the deck. He stares out over the sea.
So the culprit is definitely on board, allowing Silas to slowly take over robots.
Jasper told me some stuff you might want to know.
Like what?
I quickly filled Clash in on what Jasper had said. Clash doesn't say anything, but I can tell he's thinking.
We'll keep an eye on them. For now, let's continue our investigation. Who do you want to talk to now?
Officer Glenn owes us some answers.
I will say, he isn't as nasty to everyone. Just robots and assistants to robots.
Using our powers of deduction, we figure out where Officer Glenn might be hanging out. Sure enough, he's at the pool tables.
Officer Glenn.
Oh, you're back. If you're not here to hand the investigation over to me, then we have nothing to talk about.
Sounds like you've already been taking the investigation into your own hands at a pool table.
Glenn tenses up. What are you talking about? What do you think?
I think the second one's better because it doesn't implicate Julian.
Yeah. Why were you snooping around the waiters? Straight to the point, huh? Julia says you were trying to push him aside. Well, we just implicated him there.
And his name changed to Julius.
Julia said we were trying to push him aside.
Wasn't he Julian?
Honestly, I can't tell.
If it wasn't for the fact that I don't want to have to scroll back that far, I swear his name was Julian.
I wish there was a message log. Can we just take a quick break? And I will be back in a few. Is that okay?
Sure.
Cool. All right, be right back. Come back. You there?
Yeah, I was just reading something.
No worries. Hey, Leaky. Okay. Well, whatever his name is, said you were trying to push him aside. Oh, there. Good tea. Can you hear me? I was...
Alright, I just want to finish reading this.
You. Ah. Tara, we have to shine. Do, 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 do.
Okay. And that you wanted us to speak to
Okay.
a specific waiter. Or that you wanted to speak to a specific waiter. Yeah, sorry, I was...
We were waiting for Jesse, yeah.
Yeah,
I want...
a new chapter of One Piece
He
came
was
out
reading
today.
something.
And I had to read it.
Yeah, it's okay. Right now in the middle of stream.
Yes.
It
comes out at like 11 a.m. my time. So Sunday is time to read the new One Piece chapter. Especially in the morning, right when it comes out.
Okay.
I don't read scanlations.
Okay.
Read the official
What
release.
read the next time?
You couldn't have gotten one from another waiter?
I don't have to explain myself to you.
Actually, you do. You weren't authorized to do any investigating here.
You shouldn't have been.
You never do know when to fold them, do you? You know, because you were pushing that young man around. He ended up taking it out on the very robot that attacked him. Your actions directly led to an innocent man getting assaulted.
The room goes silent. Glenn's face is hard to read. Sadness, anger, regret, maybe even all three. Look, I want this whole situation to be resolved.
Then work with me, not against me. Tell me what you wanted to know from that robotic waiter.
Glenn is stubbornly silent.
Damn it, Glenn. Tell me what you know.
Glenn is startled by Clash's outburst. I'm fairly certain I see him reach for his gun, but he quickly relaxes. Look, I'd tell you if I could, but I couldn't make head nor tails of it either.
What is it?
Glenn sighs in defeat and pulls out a USB drive. Copy of some orders that the waiter received. I'd wanted to compare its code to some of the other robots. You could probably plug it into your head and read it. Clash is visibly suspicious. That's you.
Joe is Clash. I think I'd rather not.
I tried to read Glenn's expression. It shows neither surprise, relief, nor disappointment. Well, maybe you can take it to that weird hacker kid on board. By the way, keep an eye on him. Don't trust him.
I trust him more than you. And
Same.
if he wanted to dismantle me. But what does that say about you?
Glenn refuses to answer. You should also keep an eye on that researcher lady. She's always hanging out with that engineer kid who got hurt. Smell a conspiracy there.
You smell conspiracies everywhere these days.
Glenn rolls his eyes. You wanted help, and I gave it to you. Now how about you get back to your little adventure and let me go back to my game? He goes back to his game with Paul.
Good job investigating,
We step
buddy.
outside. Yeah. Clash clutches the USB drive tightly.
We better get this to Jasper.
We drop the USB off with Jasper on our way to our next destination, which would have been funny if it had been Jasper. He promises to get any new information to us as fast as he can.
Who do you want to talk to now?
I think that was everyone.
Oh.
What?
Are those first two changed?
No.
Okay. It's just like the fact that it says some more and again made me wonder.
Because we already talked to them once previously.
Yeah, it just seemed like they could have been like more.
No, I'm fairly certain it was that. I think that was everyone.
We've learned quite a lot.
Yeah. I can barely stop the yawn from escaping my mouth.
Was that a real one or a fake one?
It was a fake one.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe were you really yawning?
What? Just as it says yawn?
Yes. It is possible that reading the word yawn made you yawn.
Nah, I'm just really good at emoting.
You tired? Hi, Greg.
I didn't realize how late it was. Hi, Greg. We've really been at this all day, huh? They are contagious, but yes, I can also fake it.
And we've only got a couple days left to crack this case. But you need your rest.
What about you?
Oh no, my batteries are still pretty charged. Would you like me to walk you back to your cabin?
Yes, please.
I'd like you to stay with me, actually.
Do you want to do that one? We can do that one if you want.
No, it's fine. It's just funny.
It doesn't have any personality traits, so this one's a free-for-all. If you want to pick that one, we can totally...
No, it's just funny. Like, are we trying to... Are they going to start giving us a romance between Clash and Moira?
Potentially. Should we look at the achievements? There are 24 achievements. We have 3 of them. Well, they spent the night alone, and Clash stayed the night. So either of which has achievements. I feel like we have to Convince Clash to go on a date is called blatant carnality. So if you want to go down that path, we totally can.
I'd like you to stay with me, actually.
Okay. I'd like you to stay with me, actually.
Why?
I have a bad feeling. Clash nods in understanding.
I'll stick around and keep an eye on things throughout the night. Don't worry, Moira. I'll keep you safe.
Clash walks with me back to my cabin.
Stand
by me.
Clash stayed the night.
As soon as I enter my room, I fall into bed. The last thing I see before I fall asleep is his silhouette as he stands by the window, watching the sea.
Can you
I
close the
wake at
shades
midnight.
or the curtains? I don't want the moonlight coming in.
I don't mind. Nothing would wake me up if I was properly falling asleep. We asked him. It's not creepy if we ask him. I have a terrible feeling, almost as someone is watching. We just asked the robot to stay. Of course someone's watching us. I look around for Clash. He sits in the chair by the bed. He catches my gaze. Ah.
You feel that too?
I nod.
Stay low.
I pull the blankets around my shoulders. I hold my breath, listening. Someone is right outside the door. Dun, dun, dun! Clash quietly stands from the chair. He makes his way to a corner hidden from the door. The door slowly creaks open. An imposing figure slowly enters the room. It's the freaking light guard. It moves with robotic grace. I suddenly realized I'm looking at the road lifeguard from earlier. It has returned and is now standing in my room.
Play dead.
Play dead. Okay. I lay as still as I can. I try to close my eyes and pretend that I'm asleep, but I am too afraid. I look over at Clash. I hadn't noticed him grab the lamp from the nightstand, but now he wields it like a club. Clash brings the lamp down over the lifeguard's head, but the lifeguard sees him grabbing Clash's hand.
Please do not be upset, robot detective. Upset? That's putting it mildly. What are you doing here anyway? I punched you overboard. I swam back. What a straightforward reply. Your attack cleared my mind and brought me back to my senses. Oh wait, we're not going to be angry anymore?
Okay, but we still have an angry voice if you want.
I want to help you.
How can we trust you?
I have not attacked you again.
Fair enough.
Robot detective, what do you know about Silas? He's hacking robots to cause chaos on this boat. Do you know who is making us more vulnerable to his attacks? No. Lots of suspects, no confirmations. Then I will give you that confirmation. The researcher.
Yeah, Dr. Grace. Shifty little bugger.
She convinced her friend to teach her about our inner workings. One evening, she caught me alone and fiddled with my code. By the time I realized what she had done, it was too late. That's why she freaked out the way she did when we confronted her. But why is she working with Silas? I do not know. You would have to ask her.
I think we need to have another chat with our friend.
It is too late.
The lifeguard turns and points to the open door. The night is foggy and it's hard to see anything, but the lifeguard's next words cause my stomach to...
Silas is here.
Clash and I step closer to the door. We peer through the frog.
A frog? Oh, damn, there's a frog even.
We peer through the frog. No, the fog to see what the lifeguard is pointing at. At first, we think we are staring at distant lights across the ocean. Then, with a feeling of dread, we realize the bright lights are not far away. They are dimmed right next to us. We crane our necks to look at the huge vessel.
Yay, for whale carcass time.
Serious. Yeah. The crane on its back jerks around like a broken marionette. It is far too silent for such a vessel, until it lets loose a thunderous horn.
Let's lose.
A horn that sounds like the siren call of death itself. The memories of machinery has arrived. Passengers leave their cabins in a panic, only to be caught by the vessel's claw. They are crushed and smeared against the boat's deck. I can hear screaming. So much screaming.
This took a
Clash
turn.
pulls me back inside. Yeah. We have to help those people. I think... Ooh, that's you.
I think it's a little late for them. We'll do what we can to stop the memories. Save everyone else that we can. I will protect as many lives as I can. Any suggestions for how we can get over there? Grab the crane as it lowers. Jump off it when it reaches the other side. Don't get crushed.
Sounds awesome. Sounds stupid. Sounds awesome.
They're both good with me. Like, it's so
Sounds
stupid.
awesome.
It's so stupidly obvious.
Yeah. Sounds awesome.
Agreed, but it's all we've got. Let's go, Moira.
We rush outside, chasing the crane's claws. What?
I mean, visual novels in general, Gray, are always a little cheesy. Think, like...
Yeah, it's pretty cheesy.
They kind of go into, like... it's not this extreme, but, like, think, like, smutty romance novel in some of the cheesiness of dialogue.
A lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in answer to your question, Alyssa Gennaro is the developer, so probably the writer as well. I didn't see her credits, so we'd have to wait till we got to the end for the credits. The next time it crashes into the deck, Clash grabs me around the waist and takes a flying leap onto its side. We narrowly miss getting crushed. Permission to board, Captain?
Board the memories of machinery.
Clash manages to hold on to both the crane and myself as it carries its payload back to the memories. As it moves to smear the bodies onto its deck, Clash lets go. Ew. Once we've touched the deck of the memories, he releases my waist. Ew. I try not to look at the broken corpses as we rush to the bridge. Ew. Doors open and close, guiding us through the innards of the ship. Silas is allowing us to reach him, but why? Perhaps whoever is controlling him wants to confront us. Finally, we stand on the bridge. The center of the room hosts a cylinder that hums with power. This is the brain of the ship, I'm certain of it. Clash and I look at each other and nod.
Give me a second. I'll see if I can figure out how to shut this down.
At that moment, Jasper Callan runs into the room.
Guys, wait. Jasper, what are you doing here? Strike that. How did you get here? Same as you guys. That shit arrived. And I had to tell you what was on that USB drive. That program was made by Dr. Grace. She's been using this program to get Silas to take over the robots.
But then a figure wielding a heavy textbook enters the room. The figure uses that textbook to knock Jasper out. It is Dr. Grace. That little prick talks too much. And you two keep sticking your noses where they don't belong.
Why would someone as smart as you start a mess like this?
Oh, now somebody recognizes my greatness. Well, it's too damn late for that.
Is this seriously just a cry for attention?
It's a cry for recognition. I was the best in all of my classes. Graduated with honors for every single one of my degrees. So where did all that time and effort and money get me? Backwater libraries in the middle of nowhere. I should have been rubbing elbows and sipping wine with the elite minds of this country. I should have been somebody. Well, now I am indeed somebody. I'm the somebody who unleashed Silas onto an unsuspecting world, so you're a murderer then. If I can't get fame, then I'll take notoriety. Well, ooh.
Well, that's an achievement.
Thank you.
The achievement is that you're the biggest bitch I've ever met.
Grace sputters in indignation. Or infamy, I guess, yeah.
But yeah, no, Gray, we've done a bunch. This is Penguin Pop publishes these on Xbox, and we've done a bunch of their visual novels. The last one we did was called Cat President. You were a human who
Yeah.
became a cat, the campaign manager for a cat. Although
Yes.
when we did it, we became the campaign manager for the one dog who was pretending to be a cat.
He's pretending to be a cat. Legally, he was a cat.
Legally, he was a cat. So we do a lot of theirs that they've done.
I think we've done all the visual novel ones. There was the Pizza Delivery Boy that saved the world. There was Graveyard Girls.
You did
which one didn't we do?
Or two without me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, it was before they kind of became the ones we always do.
Yeah.
Because you did Animal Lover without me.
Yeah, but I only did a preview of that. That one was quite long.
And Nowhere Girl. But I think we did.
Oh, okay.
I think we did Starlight Shores.
We definitely did Starlight Shores because we made that one really cheesy.
Pizza Delivery Boy Who Saved the World.
Yes, because that was the same people that did another one.
We did Blank Space, Memories of Mermaid of Zenor, and Graveyard Girls.
Yeah.
So
the delivery one was the same as whom? Hang on, let me just have a quick check. Because there was a reference.
No, it was Cat President. I thought it was the same.
Oh, a rock.
Yeah, it was Cat President.
Studio.
Yeah, on a rock. Oh, a rock studio.
President. Yeah, so that was the same developer because it was just. I think there was a reference in it for the pizza delivery guy. You see. Yeah. No. The Blank Space one was good. No Bread Studios.
The which one?
Mermaids of Zenor was interesting. Blank Space. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, Blank Space was fun.
I went back and got all the endings.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I think I sped through to the ending we didn't get.
Yeah.
Or no, I had gotten the achievement, so I don't think I did. Because we got the best ending.
Oh, I did the endings. Yeah. Yeah, no, of course we did. But I just did the others because I wanted to know what they were. Oh yeah, Nowhere Girl was that the one where...
That was the Ghost Girl one.
Ghost Girl. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Those were the earlier ones.
Yeah.
We hadn't really started doing... We hadn't really twigged.
Yeah, like like at this point we've been doing artifacts for point and click and Penguin Pop for visual novels. There's always the chance we open it up to more, just depending on how caught up we are and whether there's stuff that's coming out. Like the big issue is
well, we've also done some pretty terrible puzzle games as well.
Well, because here's the thing: is like Artifacts, I don't think has released anything in ages.
I know, right?
Like, so in terms of our Artifacts point and clicking, like we haven't had an option in a while. So like if we wanted to get a point and click in, we still have the normal puzzle stuff we do, but nothing along that point and click vibe.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the last one they released was Agent Walker.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
And I didn't do that one. I haven't played it.
Oh.
I think you did that. That was the one you did without me.
Was that one of the ones when you missed the Costream and told me to go ahead and do it?
No. That was the Christmas one.
Oh. That was the Christmas one. Okay.
That was like, I think that was Yuletide Legends or Tibetan Quest.
Yeah. No, it was Yuletide because that's the Christmas one. I specifically did a Christmas one at Christmas. Yeah, so I was like, I'm not doing a Christmas one when it's not Christmas. That's weird. Yeah.
And it was either Tibetan Quest or Agent Walker, I think.
Yeah.
Well, you were supposed to...
We went ages without doing a bunch. Anyway, should we get this finished off because we're running out of stream time, and I want to find out why she's doing this, or how we're gonna get through this.
Well, what the hell else am I supposed to call you? I have a feeling attention whore would piss you off more.
Grace lets out an inarticulate yelp of rage.
You just sacrificed hundreds of people to a rogue AI, and you did it for attention. Not some weird moral high ground. Not out of desperation to keep a job. Not even for something as stupid as paying back your college loans. Any other motive would have been more tolerable. And you went with attention. You did all this for attention. How the hell
I
did you
love that
manage
the
to
emote.
reconcile that to yourself?
I love how like the emoting is basically just like MS Paint type drawn on photos. I do love the aesthetic of this game. It is really great. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
How the hell did you manage to reconcile that to yourself? Yeah, you know what? I take it back. Attention whore not only fits you, but you are the most extreme version of an attention whore I have ever had the displeasure of meeting.
You bastard! Grace rushes at Clash, wielding the textbook angrily. She doesn't get to use it as Clash effortlessly knocks her unconscious with one fantastic slap.
I hate to hit a lady. Though, it was fine.
Yeah. Clash looks at the computing cylinder in the middle of
Friendly.
the room. Friendly.
The researcher was responsible.
Oh my god, the personality traits determine who the person is that did it.
Okay.
So you have hostile, the collector was responsible. Indifferent, the waiter was responsible. And compassionate, the officer was responsible. So it's your highest personality trait determines who did it.
Okay.
That's a clever way of doing it.
Is it?
Cool. Well, it mixes it up a bit.
I guess. I think one of the things that I have a tough time with is like, and it's a visual novel, but like, somebody did a review of a show once and talked about like what makes good detective stories is the ability to kind of try to understand what may have happened and try to decipher things. And the fact that your traits decides who the bad guy is kind of removes that ability, that agency.
But it doesn't. It doesn't. No. The reason I'm saying it doesn't is because you started picking your personality traits, and those are the clues that you get. We knew that Grace was acting suspicious. We knew the cop was acting suspicious, and those are our two top personality traits. Had we chosen to, not be friendly, and gone the other way, then, we would have found out that the officer was actually messing with the robot waiter, and things like that. We had the hints in there.
The thing is that all of them kind of gave those vibes, because we thought the same, like when the waiter bot had the lock, one of the things we did point out is that the waiter could be just acting as if he's got a lock.
Yes. But we chose to trust him, and we were right. Only my question is, who the heck is the collector? We don't have a collector. Oh, that's the hacker. That's Jason. The collector is in Hollow Knight. No, but if you look at the picture for it, it's the hacker.
Jasper.
So interesting. Jasper
Collin.
Yes. There's also mixed feelings. The roboticist was responsible. So the guy that got punched, which is kind of funny. Okay. Clash looks at the computing cylinder in the middle of the room.
That's definitely Silas's source of power. We need to disable that right now.
Doubt Silas will let us shut him down. Can you hack it?
My hacking would involve directly interfacing with it. So in the name of not getting hacked, let's say no. I can try hacking it the old-fashioned way, unless you want to give it a try.
I noticed Jasper stirring on the floor. So does Clash.
And one of us should check on Jasper. He doesn't look too good.
Let me check on Jasper.
Okay. Human take care of human, robot take care of robot.
Yeah. We don't know if we have any hacking skills, so I'm going to go with let's just take care of the human.
Of course you would.
Clash approaches the cylinder and tries to hack Silas. I kneel down next to Jasper. He starts to stand up, stumbles. I catch him before he falls back down. He leans against me and I prop him up with my shoulder. He looks at me, confused.
What happened?
You got your ass beat.
Of course I did.
Want to hear something funny?
Aha funny or Cosmic Crisis funny?
Could go either way.
Go for it.
We already knew what you were trying to tell us. Jasper goes completely silent. For a moment, I'm afraid he's going to pass out again.
So I didn't have to come here and get beat up? You're right, that is funny.
Flash looks over his shoulder at us.
That said, we got a nice task for you. Oh, so I'm not completely useless right now?
Never were, bro.
Let me at this AI asshole.
Jasper's fingertips fly over the keyboard as he frantically types. I can barely keep up with the lines of code he filters into the program. Flash watches in fascination. You
Did you notice the MS Paint?
What?
Look at Jasper's face.
He's got blood on it.
It's funny.
Because he got hit with a textbook. He got hit with a textbook.
Sorry, it gave me the giggles.
You silly, pass on. It's okay.
It's strange to see hacking from this angle. Yeah, typing it out probably isn't as efficient as thinking it. It's pretty damn cool, though. Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Clash. Mister? You've earned my respect, sir.
Okay, he's been downgraded to slightly douchey. Clash beams with joy.
And...
Oh, I like that sound effect. Suddenly the power shorts out.
we got him.
Wait, seriously?
Silas is no more. The non-computerized backup power system should turn off in 3, 2...
The power flickers back on.
Okay, my timing was off.
Clash double checks the monitor. He lets out a whistle.
Not only did you shut Silas down, but you completely erased any hint of him from the system. Remind me not to get on your bad side. I have no desire to hack you anymore.
So that's it?
Well, we shut down the computer, and we caught the perpetrator. Seems like the case is closed to me.
Ooh, we saved the day. Finally, I can go back to my vacation. Those people that died and those poor whales.
Those aren't three very different answers.
Yeah, well, not the middle one, because that's just callous.
I guess the first one.
I mean, we did save the day. Yeah, we saved the day.
Sure would seem like it.
Bash nods to me.
You did a great job.
Then he nods to Jasper.
Both of you. But right now, let's get out of here. We need to wrap this up.
We leave Silas's silent cylinder. Wow, say that 10 times fast.
Silas' silent cylinder. 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 Silas' silent cylinder.
Behind. We step out onto the deck of memories. The sound of chopping blades alerts us to the helicopter circling overhead.
Yeah, I might have called the cops before I came to find you. That's funny, I sent out a private signal to them right when I saw the memories.
And that's not counting anyone else who called during the attack. No wonder they got here so quickly. The helicopter lands. A somewhat distracted officer approaches us.
Is
I'm not
this
quite sure.
who's Jenny? Who's Jenny? Is he
I mean,
Jenny?
I've been watching Star Trek Discovery, and the main character's called Michael, and has she her pronouns. So, you know. I mean, Clash! Great job cracking the case.
I couldn't have done it without my assistants here.
Still, you got it done, my man. If they don't give you human rights after this, then I'll eat my hat. You're not wearing a hat.
Maybe I'll eat Flash's hat.
Oh, my hat.
Much obliged. By the way, you'll find the perpetrator inside.
Clash pulls a USB drive from his temple.
Got the entire confession recorded here.
Oh, so handy. The friendly officer takes the USB stick and nods solemnly. Then he goes inside to make an arrest.
I'm gonna go over there, see if the officers have any first aid stuff. You still feel bad? Yes, in fact, I'm still in excruciating pain. I'm bleeding out of my mouth.
I mean, yeah. Jasper limps over to the other officers. I look at Clash, thinking about something he just revealed. You've been recording everything?
Yes. I transferred the footage I collected that was important to the case to that drive. The rest, I've kept for myself. This was a huge learning experience for me.
Does he just have... does he automatically just produce USB drives? Or does he have to, load one in?
Maybe that's why he has a trench coat. The inside of the trench coat is lined with mini USB drives for him.
It's just once a USB drive.
That's his guns. Or his knives that he stores. One that I really don't want to forget.
What will you do now?
Well, first, I'm going to head back to the precinct. I'll have to write up a good long report about this.
And after that?
Not sure, honestly. Maybe I'll stick with the precinct a while longer. Maybe I'll take advantage of my new rights and start my own agency. Whatever I do, I want to keep helping people.
Sounds like a great plan.
Oh, that reminds me. How would you like a new job?
Doing what?
Working as my assistant full-time.
Bold of you to assume I don't have a job. Really?
Of course. I've been paying attention to how you've been handling yourself during this case. Overall, you tried to handle yourself with maturity and compassion. I can't think of anyone else I'd like by my side.
Smile at Clash's statement.
I mean, as a business partner. Yeah, that sounded unintentionally romantic, now that I think about it. Anyway, what do you say?
I'd love to keep working for you. Under
You sound
you,
so
with you.
convinced. Right, I was hoping we'd get a with, not a for.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first option.
Okay.
Fantastic. Give me some time to get some strings pulled. I'll give you a call once I'm ready for you. In the meantime, I've got a case to wrap up. And you have the rest of your vacation to enjoy. It's been nice working with you, Moira.
I mean, not much of a vacation considering so many people died.
Yeah, right? Yeah,
Clash
the cruise vacation is going to continue after the deaths of hundreds.
Yeah. Yeah. Clash reaches out to shake my hand. Oh, we can hug him. Can we hug him, please?
Sure, we can hug Clash.
The thought of this being goodbye, even if I might see him again soon, it's just too much. I quickly wrap him up in a big hug. He almost loses his balance in surprise, but he soon returns my hug. He rests his chin on my shoulder and speaks softly into my ear.
You've got a good heart. Don't let that go.
I pull back and smile at him. I get the sense he's grinning through tears. Clash escorts me back to the violet skies. Tired! Yeah, I'm sure a few yeah, but I'm not drinking. Chocolate milkshakes. He tips his hat to me respectfully before boarding the helicopter. I watch him go until the helicopter's out of sight. I make my way back to the cabin. The crew is trying to fix what Silas destroyed before we return to port. It'll probably take another day or so before we get back. I lie down on my bed and close my eyes, trying to empty my mind and go back to sleep. But all I can see in my mind's eye is Clash, intimidating culprits like a protective big brother, tracking one-liners and showing surprising wisdom. I'd never met a robot like him before. I don't know if I'll ever meet anyone else like him. I'm so glad that we parted on such good terms. At the end of the day, I'm so grateful that I met Clash, the robot detective. Where's the... Seriously, we're not getting any credits?
That's new.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
a bonus episode.
I don't see options
behind
for
the
credits.
scenes trivia. Yeah. See the behind the scenes trivia. Let's just do that because we're not going to have time to do a bonus episode. See what it says about the behind the scenes tidbits. Maybe it'll have credits.
Do you want some behind the scenes tidbits? Well, I'm happy to oblige.
Where did the dev get this idea from?
She got it from a couple of nightmares she had. The first one was about a murderous boat. In this dream, she was standing on the decks of a cruise ship and watching a distant freight carrier use a huge claw to rip chunks of flesh off a whale and smear the chunks on its deck. He looked away for a second and then looked back to see that the carrier was right next to a cruise ship. It tried to catch her, its huge claw smashing into the deck of the ship behind her as she ran. Kind of a grisly nightmare, but she wasn't too fazed. When she woke up, she was both scared and fascinated. 12 months later, she had another dream set on a cruise ship. This time, she was being chased by a huge robot. It was, in fact, Adam from the Budget Cuts VR game. That's who the lifeguard originally was, a character from a completely different property. Anyway, right as she was about to get caught, another robot swooped in and saved her. That robot was yours truly. Now, Dream Me looked a lot different from actual me. I looked and sounded like Nick Valentine from Fallout 4. So if you're wondering how my voice sounds, that's a good idea. Except I had bright blue eyes and that beard with the camera in it from Team Fortress 2. Apparently, this stream was all about mashing together other games the dev had played. We then decided to solve mysteries, eat cookies, and adopt orphans. The cookies and orphans angle was unfortunately dropped for the full game. Once the dev woke up from this second dream, she thought I was a pretty cool dude. She also remembered the earlier dream and thought, hey, put those two dreams together and I got a weird frickin' story, let's do this. Ended up being her favorite game she's ever made. All's well that ends well.
Okay. Can I kiss you?
Okay. No. Next question.
Well, the bonus episode is like we haven't played that, so what's next for Clash?
A vacation. The dev is working me like a rented mule. At the time of releasing this complete edition, she's planning a full-fledged sequel. She got the title from an AI-powered prompt generator. Clash Blue Mirage is what she's calling it. She's got a setting, a haunted mansion attraction controlled by an AI. For quite some time, that was all she had. Then she had a nightmare where I had been reset to my default chase criminals programming and was chasing her through an abandoned building with intent to harm. Very out of character, but also very intense. She also wrote a seasonal zine starring me for a jam. She joins a lot of jams. She realized the zine could work as a prologue. Saying any more would spoil the whole currently planned intro to the game. But just be known that, much like the original game, dreams and side stories are apparently going to be making the making of this are going to the making of the sequel. And of course, she'll probably write a bunch of little fictions along the way. Anyway, that's the plans. Granted, These aren't happening anytime soon, if they happen at all. But it's good to have goals. What's with the visuals?
Yeah, I was just looking up the sequel. So on Steam, this game came out in Jan 2023, and the sequel came out in March 2025. So it is possible that it will come to Xbox and we can play the sequel, which is indeed called Clash the Blue Mirage.
Okay.
And looks equally as awesome. So there is a demo on Steam if you want to see it. Okay, what's with the visuals?
Well, you see the dev struggles with artistic development, which is just a nice way to say she can't draw. Her drawing style stalled out at first grade level due to expectations placed on her by family. They wanted her to draw like an expert at 7 years old. The pressure was too much, and she gave up altogether. There's a life lesson in there somewhere. Nonetheless, she wanted to go into game development as a fun side income hobby, but needed to find a way around this handicap of hers. Practicing art skills was an option, but would require years of practice, and in her case, art classes, to get to an acceptable level, and she wanted to start game development as soon as possible. There were also options for pre-existing assets and hiring artists. She did not have the money for the latter, and was, at the time, too stubborn for the former. So she found a website with lots of free for commercial use stock images, acquired them, and opened GIMP. She spent some time hacking together photographs in a collage-esque style and slapped a comic book filter over it. The result was a visual style that garnered more praise than she expected. For the complete edition, she also wanted to add some gentle edits to the UI. She didn't want to change it too drastically, because she's the one Ren'Py dev who actually likes the engine's default UI layout. But she did add some changes. At least there's that.
Okay. Cool. I got nothing. Okay. We scrammed. Interesting. Where does not have freaking credits?
We only got 7 achievements out of 24.
Got to play it through at least 5 times, but luckily, you know, it's short. And then I'm imagining the barista stuff is to do with the
bonus story.
Clash Steel Barista. So yeah. But yeah, well, we might as well finish up here. Are you planning to play stream any more today?
Maybe later. We'll see.
Maybe later. Okay.
I should eat.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Cool. Well, thank you everyone for being in here. Thank you to Jesse for being the voice in my ear. Thank you to Penguin Pop for the code for this game and ID at Xbox for the other code, so we can stream.
Woo!
We really do love the Penguin Pop published visual novels. They are really great. So yeah. I'll be back.
Bye, Leaky. Bye,
Tuesday. I'll be back Tuesday probably with Forgotten Fields, which is what I was supposed to play today. But what I should have done was done today's games yesterday and yesterday's game today. But what I did do was decide to play more Blueprints and completely wreck my timeline. So yeah, I will be playing Forgotten Fields definitely on Tuesday. And yeah, Wednesday's Costream, so we'll have to think of something for that.
Correct.
Cool. Okay. Jesse, when are you're possibly back later today?
Possibly. If not tomorrow.
Cool. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Bye.
Bye, everybody.